Hey guys, this is Mr. Grice for Algebra 2, Chapter 4.4 Notes. Today we're going to be talking about graphing linear equations in slope-intercept form. Our learning target today is to be able to determine whether two lines are parallel or perpendicular, given their equations. The next learning target we will address on another day. So, a review from yesterday, slope-intercept form. Slope is y equals mx plus b, where m is your slope and b is your y-intercept. Okay? Now, parallel lines. Parallel lines have the same slope. They have different y-intercepts and they never intersect. Okay? Intersect means they never touch. When you think of parallel, think of like railroad tracks. Okay? Railroad tracks never cross each other because if they were to cross each other, the train would derail. It'd have an accident. Okay? Perpendicular lines have the opposite and reciprocal slope. Okay, so let's think about that. Opposite, well, what's opposite mean? Okay, they're different. Okay, if one's positive, the other is negative. Okay, and reciprocal means to flip or switch the slope. Okay, so and the key thing, another thing that these things do is if you remember from geometry, they make 90-degree angles. Okay, so they have to intersect at a certain point to make that angle. Okay, all right, let's go through some examples. It says determine whether the lines are parallel, perpendicular, or neither. Okay, so when we're doing this, we need to look at the slope. That slope is the same. Okay, so if it's the same slope, it means the lines are parallel. All right, let's look at the next one. Okay, they're not the same. They're opposites, but are they reciprocal? A reciprocal would mean if one is -3, the other one would be 1/3. So do we have that with these two slopes? No. So for this one, the correct answer would be neither. Okay, let's move on to number 3. So we're looking at the slopes. Okay, well, they're not parallel because they're not the same. Now, are they opposite reciprocals? We got one is -5/1, and the other one is +1/5. They're opposites and they're reciprocals, which means these lines are perpendicular. Okay, number 4. Let's look at our slopes. We have a -1, so that means that slope is -1/1. Our slope on our second one is 1/1. Now, this one's a little tricky, but they're opposites and they're reciprocal, so this line is actually perpendicular. Okay. Now they're going to start making us do some work. We know that this line is, the slope is -5, but we have to solve it on the bottom. So we're going to subtract the 5x to both sides. We get -y equals -5x plus 7. Do not forget that negative sign right there, okay? We need to divide everything by -1. And we're left with y equals 5x minus 7. Our slope right here is m equals 5. Okay, so are those parallel? No. Are they perpendicular? No, so the correct answer is neither. Okay, number 6. They're being difficult because they don't give us any of them. We have to solve them both. Let's go with this one first. So we have to subtract the 4x to both sides. And we get negative 5y equals negative 4x plus 10. To get the y by itself, we divide by negative 5. And we get y equals 4 over 5x minus 2. And our slope is 4/5. Okay, just so we remember. There's our slope. Okay, let's do the next one over here. We get 15x minus 12y equals negative 4. Subtract the 15x to both sides. And we get negative 12y equals negative 15x minus 4. We have to divide both sides by negative 12. Really checking here if you know how to reduce your fractions. So y equals negative over negative is a positive, and if you divide both of those by 5 or by 3, get 5 over 4x plus 1/4. Okay, so our slope is 5 over 4. So parallel, perpendicular, or neither. Okay, this one is actually neither. Okay, those are both positive slopes, so they're not perpendicular, even though they are reciprocals. Okay, it's got to be both. Okay, 7, 8, 9. Why don't you guys try number 7? Pause the video, and let's see how you do. Okay, so when you go through and you solve for y on the first equation, you end up getting a slope of m equals negative 1/4. When you do the second equation, it ends up getting the same thing, so things with the same slope are parallel. All right, let's do the next one together. So we have to solve for both of these. And 9x plus 2y equals 8. Draw our lines for both equations. Let's start on the left. We have to subtract 2x to both sides. We get negative 9y equals negative 2x minus 9. Divide both sides and everything by negative 9. We get y equals 2 over 9x plus 1. Okay, so our slope m equals 2 over 9. All right, let's see what happens on the other side. Doing the same thing, subtract 9x to both sides. 2y equals negative 9x plus 8. Divide everything by 2. And you get y equals negative 9 over 2x plus 4. Our slope is negative 9 over 2. So are the slopes the same? No. Are they opposite reciprocals? Yes, which means these lines are perpendicular. Okay, number 9 is on your own, but now before you get started with it, it's already telling us that our slope is 8 over 3. So all you have to do is solve the second part. Be very careful when you're reducing your fractions, okay? Let's pause the video and see how you do. All right, and there you go. So you get a slope of 8 over 3x plus 5 over 4. Ooh, both of the slopes are 8 over 3, which means our final answer to this is these lines are parallel. Well, that's going to be it today for Algebra 2, Chapter 4.4 Notes, Part 2. As always, if you have any questions, please come see Ms. Carranza or myself because we would love to help you out. Thanks for watching, guys.